you ever come alive in the nighttime and be hit with a stroke of genius? And I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. That type shit. Let's go. Alright, we go by faith. What up, YouTube? Hi, my name is Rizil, and today I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. Right now, we're gonna be doing another Louis C.K. reaction stand-up comedy. Last time I did a Louis C.K. reaction, it was, I think, my top two favorite. I think it might be it might be one of my top two favorite first-time reactions in terms of like stand-up comedy, honestly speaking. Because I was about to put it at number one, but then I remembered the first time I watched or I reacted to Shane Gillis. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that and everything. But it's like it's giving like my first time reactions in terms of stand-up comedy a fight in terms of like for the top spot, just because it was so relatable, like what I was reacting to and what he was saying and the way he put it and everything. It was really a great reaction. You guys can go check it out. I think it's playlisted under my stand-up comedy reactions. It's titled Louis C.K. being broke. I reacted to that clip, but I am really glad to be back reacting to this guy. I have high hopes because the last reaction went so well in terms of the vibes, and today I am gonna be watching this man apparently roasting black people for 8 minutes straight. Yeah. Hey man, let's see what he has to say. Who really fucked me up in terms of like they were saying some sneaky shit about Africa. Oh, my last my last what is it called? That guy Patrice O'Neal reaction. Yeah, my recent Patrice O'Neal reaction. Fuck you, Patrice. Let's just get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Without further ado.
Here's a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because there was a black guy walking behind him. And he was nervous. He was new to the city, this chicken. And he was like, I feel like he's following me, but I'm not sure. So then he thought, maybe if I cross the road, then if he crossed the road, he's definitely following me. So he crossed the road, and the black guy went home. He's living his life. And the chicken was like, I'm such a racist. And he felt bad. About a month later, a black guy ate the chicken. A different black guy. I'm just telling you what happened. By the way, don't be upset, because this is not a racist joke. This joke is not racist. The chicken was racist. The chicken was definitely racist. But that's chickens. Chickens are very closed down and suspicious and prejudiced. You kind of can't blame them considering that their species murder rate is 100%. That's what chickens are like. There's always a cute.
Before we continue, okay, you're starting off strong. That's actually happened to me multiple times in like growing up in terms of like growing up in South Africa, in terms of the Indian community I grew up on. I would always cross the street, honestly speaking, when I'd see like especially Indian women, adult Indian women or older Indian women, sort of like in front, and then they looking back at me and thinking, oh, like I'm a criminal because I'm black and everything, or they're in danger, or they're about to get robbed. I'd always cross the road, not because like I was offended or anything, because honestly, the crime rate is high in South Africa, and a lot of the crime, fuck man, should I even say this without looking at the stats? From self experience, guys, a lot of the crime is committed by us black people. Okay, it is what it is, you know. Especially in our neighborhood, a lot of the like situations happened where black people would come from the hood, all the way from the hood to come here, so to rob people. Not all black people, specific criminals in the hood. So like I would sort of cross the road like to show them like basically not even to show them, but to like to be understanding to them and their prejudice against me. I don't know, man. Maybe I was too nice, you know. Maybe I was too fucking nice, because I remember even one time a guy kept looking back and he was afraid because he thought I was about to rob him. So he stopped at one point, and then he just approached me very softly and asking me he's like talking really nice to me and stuff. And when I responded back in kind, he was like, "Oh shit, the black guy isn't about to rob me." So, um, you know what? Fuck everybody, bro. Fuck everybody.
For racism, like I met this guy from the South and he was really racist, and I asked his friend, why do you like that? And his friend goes, oh, well, he was born on a farm. What kind of farm was that, Maybe the animals were racist, Because one of the animals were like, Jews!
Jews. So I have mild racism. It's benign. It's not aggressive. It's not even negative racism. It's mild racism. I'll give you an example. Okay, like if I go to a pizza place I've never been to before, and it's run by 4 black women, I'll go like, See, it's very mild. It's extremely mild racism. I'll notice that. Yeah. You don't usually see that, 4 black women running pizza place. Unless it's called 4 Black Girls Pizza or something like that. Like that's the whole point of the place.
Interesting news about the Jew thing. I do know where the term kike came from, by the way.
Ah, derogatory term for Jewish people.
I do know where that came from.
Where?
It is when people used to come over in the in the ships on Ellis Island. A lot of people couldn't write English, so they used to make their mark, and the Jew's mark was a circle, and the circle is called keikel. So that's what they would just shorten it to kike. The guys, here's another kike once they seen the circle.
You know where it came from? Originally? There was some black guy being an egg. They called him Nick. He was being a real nerd. He said, what a nerd. And that's where it started.
It was a feeling. Yeah.
Here's an example of mild racism. If I say I'm in a hospital and the doctor comes in to treat me and the doctor's from China or India, I'll think, well, good. Good, more of that. Why not? It's very mild racism. Here's another example. If I'm in a gas station late at night and a young man comes in wearing a hooded sweatshirt, if he's white, I'll think, oh, he's an athlete. If he's black, unless he has a big smile on his face, then I become mildly racist, and this is what I think. I think, that's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. No, of course I'm fine. Why did I even think that for a second?
But people are too afraid of Harlem, Like everybody, when you move to New York, they say, oh, you can't go to Harlem, because as soon as you get there, they kill you. As soon as you arrive, they stab you in the face. You just get murdered. Which is true. I've been to Harlem, and people there, they have a lot of stuff to do. They're busy. They're not just standing around waiting for lost white people to kill all day. Just right outside the subway after good.
I just want to say I'm not trying to say that if you're white, you can't complain. I'm just saying that if you're black, you get to complain more.
Right.
Because you can't. There you go.
Don't tell the band that.
Because you can't, that's right. You can't take people's, historical context away from them. And everybody wants us to. White people are always like, come on, it wasn't us. They want black people to forget everything. Every year, white people add 100 years to how long ago slavery was. I've heard educated white people say slavery was 400 years ago. No, it very wasn't. It was 140 years ago. That's 2 70-year-old ladies living and dying back to back. That's how recently you could buy a guy.
That's right.
And it's not like slavery ended and then everything has been amazing. It just...
I'm glad that's over.
Oh yeah, it just ended like a clean where you don't have to wipe. Just boom, and then it's just been parades and presents ever since. You You gotta remember that if you meet a black person, they have gray hair, they remember a time they weren't allowed to use a certain toilet. So give them a little, time to be cranky. And by the way, white people have our own thing stuff that we went through that hurt us that we have to cope with. Like when they took our slaves away, that was really hard for us. And we're so it's pretty even. so it's even. It's even.
Come closer. I want you, lady. I know you're gonna never hold me. All your touch.
Seriously, because I did a show where they don't applaud when you go on stage. It's called Mo Better Mondays. That's the name of the show at the Improv, Mo Better Mondays. It's an all-black audience. And I had done a show called Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, which is an all-black audience. And they invited me because they thought I was black because of my name, because I directed Pootie Tang, so people sometimes think I'm black. And so they invited me to the show. So I get there, and they go, "Oh, hi." And I look at her and I go, "Oh, hi." And then we kind of stand there trying to decide, and I go, "Fuck it, hi." And they go, "Yeah, hi." All right. So I went on, and this is Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, and it was fucking great. I had a great time because nobody else is trying. They're all up there just acting cool, and I went up there and I tried, and everybody appreciated it. So then, because most comedians don't try. I'm not saying because their hair was black, but they were all black and unfunny. Every single one of them was black. There are far more unfunny white comedians than unfunny black ones. But every single comedian on that show was black and unfunny. Should have been the name of the show. But I was white and hilarious. And also, privileged and lucky to be white. Everybody who's white should just wake up and go, "I'm fucking white, this is great, how easy is this shit? I don't have to fucking explain myself ever. I look people in the eye with confidence, nobody fucks with me, the police protect me." It's amazing that black people, all they can hope from the cops is that they'll leave them alone. And we actually get to hope that they'll protect us. It's fucking a chasm of difference. And I'm on the greatest side of that chasm. I am on the fucking sweet side of that chasm.
Oh wow. It's over. It's so interesting just hearing him talk. He just like captivates you with his his storytelling. In terms of some of the topics he brought up, right? Like even this whole slavery thing and the injustices that have happened towards not even just black people but different races of people. Because I think people even forget it was like a slow incline. The more people are reserved amongst their own people, the more like they practice the shit amongst their own people first before they take it elsewhere. So in terms of even racism within white people, it was like first with their people, like maybe the British picking on the Irish and the Scottish and the Roman Italians, picking on the people that were around them, and all the way to the edges of Africa and everything, and like it kept on going. And then as you keep on venturing out into the world, and you see another people, and those other people have their own thing going on, you hold on to the people that are around you more. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting the way when he brought that up, even especially in terms of what you call slavery and everything, and white people basically saying, "Oh, get over it. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4." I've talked to a friend about this. I've had a conversation with a friend about this, about like how, especially in South Africa, there's still sort of like this mistrust amongst peoples, amongst races and everything, due to all the things that have happened, due to how some of the things were handled. People always admired Nelson Mandela's legacy and the way that after the end of apartheid and the criminals weren't exactly like or the people that did those atrocious things against other human beings, they weren't exactly um, penalized or anything, but they were given a chance to come before the reconciliation board and confess their sins and seek reconciliation and seek basic forgiveness. It was on some very Christian shit. You know, it was even led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and they always admire South Africa for it, as opposed to, you know, the way things happened in World War II Germany, where they just started executing Nazis with a fucking prejudice, which honestly is fucking beautiful considering what they did. But I don't think people like know like the things that have transpired and happened after, and how a lot of shit has been left unsaid due to these things. You know, like, yes, it was a good approach, all in all, in terms of moving forward, but should I even say, like, what would I even like think in terms of like a way to make people okay with everything that's happened? I think re-education. That sounded a little Nazi. Like, hold on. I think the re-education of people, especially in terms of race and racism, and how some people were downtrodden and picked on and whatever, and held back by another race. You know, I think there should be a wider scope of studying human nature and how we've interacted with each other for years, for since the beginning of time. Because even in the Bible, when I read it, bro, like, you can tell like how some laws that the Jews instituted within themselves were sort of xenophobic and racist to the other nations that were around them, that were subject to them, and vice versa, in terms of when the Jews were at the bottom, and like maybe Egypt and everything was at the top, and how they treated the Jews, and etc etc. You know, like, conversations and shit like this should be had, instead of sticking to one curriculum of, we're just gonna learn this part of history, we're just gonna learn that part of history. Because honestly speaking, it sets a tone for us to look at other races in a certain way. Especially me, like, growing up, I would honestly look at white people with a little bit of mistrust, even, and it was worse because I've never like grown up amongst white people, so I never had like white people around me. So when you hear these stories, you start looking at white people like, oh, the legendary devil. Oh, they did this, they did that, you know. But then when I started experiencing racism from, and the exact, like, you know, the stuff that they teach us in the textbooks, the exact things that those white people or whatever did, I started experiencing with other races. I started experiencing with Indians. I started experiencing with mixed race people. I started experiencing it with my own people in terms of racism and xenophobia and everything. And that's when I identified that spirit immediately as a kid that always thinks. And I was like, oh, okay, you see that thing that you learned over there, isn't this the same thing that you heard, like, you read in the textbooks and what they were teaching you? At some point in time, the white people did this, did that, you know. Like, we should study the whole spectrum about how different peoples treated each other in order to teach human beings that this isn't a race thing. You can't just look at white people, or like Asian people, or whatever, whoever it is, and say they were born to be racist. That's just what they do, because every human being, every creed of human being has people amongst them that are very, very fucking annoying. And honestly, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So, hey man, I'm sorry for going this deep on a Louis C.K. Stand-up comedy reaction, when it was just supposed to be me, like, just chilling and having a laugh. I hope I didn't ruin it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notifications, and thank you for joining me today. This has been dope. Yeah.
True facts. I fantasize by being dipped in Diablo, the slick image of the illest killer, the Pablo, the slick finish with no gimmicks, rival Picasso. I diminish, there's no limit to where I can go. I could topple the empire.